O ye of little faith. I'm like a minute late, and this is what I'm reading in the comments section. I think Aaron ditched us. He's 30 seconds late. I can't even get into the show a minute before I'm slapping Jeff Potts. You guys are unbelievable. Stephen Ings here. Hey, Stephen, thanks for joining us. Humphrey Bear, Johnny Fitz is here. Leg Kick is here. Party time. This is, you know what? That is a true statement because today is party time like nobody's business. So Johnny's a doubter, but Johnny, the party is just beginning. Now look at this. This is interesting. Chuck Elam is here. Now Chuck, I believe, just recovered from a long battle with COVID. Is that not correct? And called it like there was some sort of symbiote or something. So Chuck may be turning into venom during the show. So we'll have to monitor that closely. Lady, have we determined if this is Lady Celtic Moon or Lady Celtic Moon? I'd like some clarification on that. Angelo's here. Happy Pops Day, Aaron. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate it. Aaron Louviere is here. Hello. He says hello to everyone. He's just not singling me out. He's saying hello to everybody, and I think that's special. Let's see. Johnny Fitz wishing me the best on Father's Day. Thank you. I actually am a father. I have 2 kids to prove it. There's another one from Dave. I'm not even going to. Asonowitz. I'm betting that's close. Thanks for that. Let's see. Chuck is going along, and he's acknowledging the fact that he is, in fact, a symbiote now. Yeah, well, the parties I go to, I'm kind of more of the life of the party, but not necessarily the dancer at the party. So let's not get too carried away with that. That's Shelley's department. Now see, Colt the Raven got his second shot, and he's been down and out. So there we go. We have clarification. Celtic. There it is. You got it. Celtic, Lady Celtic Moon. I will try my darndest to remember that. Although I promised my daughter that one of her favorite places to eat, I don't want to call it fast food, but essentially it is Qdoba, which I always called Qdoba, right? And it just infuriated her. So I said, what does it matter? It's Qdoba, it's Qdoba, whatever. So I said, if you can find a commercial where they actually say the proper pronunciation of the restaurant or the eating establishment, whatever you want to call it, then I will abide by that as law. And sure enough, in their commercials, it's always Qdoba. So I had to promise her that I would say Qdoba. The problem is I've been saying Qdoba forever, so it does slip out wrong every once in a while, and then she corrects me. So Lady Celtic Moon, if I screw up in the future, I'll catch myself, and I apologize in advance. Let's see, what else we got going on here? You will be listening, but you have a grill to get on. I understand that. I didn't grill. What we decided to do, because my son lives about 70 miles south of us, well, 50 miles south. And so he came up, and he's leaving right now. In fact, he may be just walked out the door. And my daughter had to work at 4. So I said, well, let's have a late lunch as opposed to a dinner. So I don't have to grill anything today. So we did. We had a late lunch. And it's called Davidson's. I'm gonna get a free plug. It's like this kind of what we'd call back in the day a family restaurant, family style restaurant, kind of, And so I had a Reuben sandwich, which is my favorite sandwich. And Samantha, my daughter, had a Reuben because I turned her on to Reubens. My mom, 90 years old, teeth don't work that great, so she gets soup whenever she can get soup. So she had beef barley soup with cornbread. My son had a a club sandwich, and Shelly went with the nacho salad. So that's what we did. And we ate about 3 to 3:30. Played a game of Yahtzee, which I won. It's not an old person thing to do, is like play Yahtzee, but man, if they say on the box, it's a game of chance, and I love it. So it's kind of like gambling. It doesn't really cost you any money. Thank you, my dear, and thank you for the well wishes. Oh, God, I'm going to have to think of, I'm not prepared to give you bad dad jokes. I'll see if one comes to me. No, I love this. David's like, you're making me hungry. I'm going to make you really hungry in a minute, because we're having a big snack reveal. Because I'm now at the age where, when you're younger, people, Father's Day isn't necessarily a gift day per se. You get a card, maybe something, something small to acknowledge that, you've slaved away for decades raising your kids and sacrificing for them. You'd think they'd give a little bit back. But man, now I'm at the age where anything with sugar in it, they give me. And I'm like, I'm happy to have it. And so we're going to have a massive snack reveal in just a minute. So if you think you're hungry now, just wait. Just wait. Andy Smith is in the house. Now, Andy, of course, is a father of one. I'm a father of two. And so thank you, Andy, and happy Father's Day to you. And thanks for poking your head in. I appreciate it. This is good. And then we all watched Murder, She Wrote and drank Ovaltine. The fact that there's people in this audience that know what Murder, She Wrote is I find amusing. So, yeah, Johnny. Let's see. I think the last live feed, Johnny had like pizza, and it was like he literally had a buffet of what sounded like delicious leftovers. And I felt bad because I was not snack prepared last time, and that's just not how this show should operate. Snacks are always a priority, and I've got to remember that. So I set up shows to wait a minute. Did I get the? Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself here. How long do you schedule your last second live streams before you actually launch the show? 5 minutes, maybe. That's the fun of it, right? Is I just, if I feel like, if I got a drawing to do and I feel like, you know what, I'll just do it live. And then I go, and I don't even prepare a banner. I just go live, and then I do the banner afterwards, so that when people want to go in and watch it later that missed it live, there's a little header up there. But had Chipotle and pizza and McDonald's. I got fat last stream. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that is like serious eating, and I appreciate that. Roscoe says, my first Father's Day, I'm young, but I like Ovaltine. Who doesn't like Ovaltine, right? But hey, happy Father's Day to you, Roscoe. It's awesome. And everybody out there, there's a father, and I'm sure there's several of you guys out there. Happy Father's Day. Let me just blanket that out there to everyone so I don't miss anybody. Yeah, Michael Rankins is right there. I just sent him off something. I can't even remember what I did for you. I know I did something. But anyway, so let's get this show on the road. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to toggle back and forth, because I think the best way to do this snack reveal, which is the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to switch cameras, because it'll be easier for you guys looking down at the item as I open it up. I didn't eat that long ago, and so I'm kind of stuffed, but at the same time, I can't just do a reveal and not eat some of it. So here's the first thing. Now, I don't know if you guys have, you probably, C's Candies, I don't know, you guys probably have that. I mean, I know it's a national brand, but I don't know if it's in every state or whatever. But so my son, now here's the thing, he didn't go in there and pick out the candies for me. He just bought the generic box that they sell, which I thought was pretty weak effort on his part. But, it's still got candy in it. Now, I have to admit, I did ate some of these already. They don't have the little candy map in here, though. Maybe it's underneath. I don't know. Well, okay, so, you know, I know what this is. That's peanuts, chocolate clustered peanuts right there. That's what I'm gonna start off with. So I'm gonna have that. I was right. So this box remains in play the entire show. Okay, but here's a big one. Excuse me while I chew and talk. No manners. All right. Now, I know this is like a franchise, but I don't know, you know, where they're at, where they're not. But they have humongo cookies. They're like cake cookies. And so she got me these long boxes. So here's my hand. Here's my arm, right? My werewolf arm. And this is a big box. And the little sticker on it says, "Happy Father's Day, dog." So that's kind of a little joke we have. If you remember American Idol, who was the guy, the one rap album producer, music producer guy that was on the show? He'd always go, "Yo, dog, you know that you're a little pitchy, dog," and that's what he called everybody. So we used to watch that when our kids were little, and so we call each other dog all the time. But anyway, so happy Father's Day, dogs. Let's open this sucker up and see what's inside, shall we? Ooh, it's so exciting. Okay, look at these massive cookies. This is the Butterfinger special right here. This is the Kit Kat bar special. I believe this is just M&Ms, right? And this is oh, doggone it. What are those things called that you get at those deep fried things rolled in cinnamon and sugar you get at the Lake County Fair? Oh my goodness. Churros. Yeah, churros. This is called the churro cookie. So, which essentially is a snickerdoodle, I guess, in disguise. But look at the massive size of this cookie. Humongous, right? Ooh. Dude, you're not kidding. I'm not going to like down all these right this second, though. I am going to do a little sample, though. We're going to try one in a minute. But this is interesting. Historical note of interest. On this date in 1975, one of Aaron's favorite movies, not one of Aaron's favorite movies, Aaron's favorite movie premiered, Jaws. Wow. On this day. How about that? So June 20th, 1975. Oh, what a great movie. I just watched that at a local theater here again. This is true. You could feed a small village in Malaysia for 1 year on one of those cookies. It's true. That's an excellent question. I don't think I eat as much candy. Well, actually I do, but it's just been a recent phenomenon. I really got to back off, but not until after I eat these. It definitely is not. Winston Go from Winston. My gosh, are you in Singapore or the Philippines? You're in Singapore, right? I think. All right, here we go. I've had one of these before. I'm going to try actually this. Oh, these just came out of the refrigerator, so they're a little hard. I'm going to try. This is the Butterfinger. So I'm just going to try, like, cut it like a slice of pie here. We'll see. Here we go. It's basically a peanut butter cookie. I don't eat a lot of these either because I'm going to make an incredible mess of my fingers, and I got to draw here in a minute. It's like a peanut butter cookie with some chocolate drizzle on it and crumbled up Butterfingers on the top. So, delicious, really. All right, so I got one more thing I want to share with you. Now this is there we go. You are the dad everyone wishes they had. Joshua and Samantha. Those are my two kids. The interesting thing about this, Shelly ordered this plaque for them to give to me, which I was quite touched by, because that's what we all want. Right? We want our kids to say, you're the dad that, you know, all of our kids wish they had, or all of our friends wish they had. Being the cool dad, right? So I thought it was very sweet, very nice. But I look at my business account today. I was doing some accounting, paying some bills, whatever. Shelly paid for that through PayPal, which took the money out of my account. So basically, they got me a present that I paid for. It's unbelievable. Wow. So actually, my family sort of gave me one of these on Father's Day. So, but it's the thought that counts, even if I paid for it. So, no, that's fine. Shelly's like, I'm going to give you the money back. I'm going to give you the money back. So, I can't. We can't give her too hard of a time for that. Okay. Oh, Shelly is she's feeling a little under the weather today, so she didn't know if she was going to drop in or not. I don't. You never know with her. When the camera's on, it calls to her, but I don't know if she's going to make it on or not. Stomach's bothering her a little bit, so you know. Oh, my kitty kid just snuggling. That's so sweet. I got to wipe the tear away. Oh, what about this? Winston says, June 1975, my very introduction to comic books. My mom bought me a Wonder Woman and Spider-Man book to keep me at bay and not run around. I haven't turned back since. How about that? Wow. I started just about my very first comic was 1971, but I started buying them semi-regularly in 73 and then probably like full-time in late 74. By 75, I was an addict for sure. Okay. Well, that's all the introductions. That's a little bit of snack time. You know, we got to get the formalities out of the way, right? But I want to bring back a feature that I haven't done in a while, because it's really more of a public service. So let's do this. As I'm boogieing. There we go. Now, you know, far be it from me to ever suggest like a current comic. All I do is suggest comics I read, 30 years ago or 40 years ago or whenever this was. But I believe, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, and that someone is probably Louis Brightraven if I'm wrong, but I believe this was the first Elseworlds story that DC ever did. And this is Batman hunting down Jack the Ripper, and drawn by Mignola, written by Brian Augustyn. So it's a heck of an issue. It's a prestige format, probably 48 pages. But if you guys have not read this, I highly recommend you go back and find it. It's been hardcovered. It's been trade paperbacked a gazillion times, so you can find it pretty easily on Amazon, I would think. But, first story, as I recall, where you see, a superhero out of time, like, Batman, what if he existed in the 1890s or whatever? It's just a great concept, and it's a fresh concept because it hadn't been done to death at this point, and right, it was new, and it's sort of, I think it opened up in all of our minds this sort of possibility for this type of Elseworlds, or the sky's the limit. If you can step outside of continuity, you can take a cool character that would really be cool in a different way in a different era. And Batman, of course, is one of those characters that you can just move around and can pretty much work, because he doesn't really have superpowers, and he's he's limited a little bit to the technology he has at hand, but he always has superior technology to wherever he might be. So I just love this book, and if you haven't read it, you should check it out. Yes, see, Louis Bright Raven was right on it. Says you're correct. This is the first official Elseworld. So there you have it. Boy, that is ridiculously weak. Yeah, I mean that's just weak. But moving right along, guys, we got things to do. I know people are here for the drawing, but you're just gonna have to wait because we have to do the variety show portion of the show before we actually get to the nuts and bolts. I mean, that's just the way I am. And I do want to do this too, as a quick reminder, everybody. Yeah, it's I've been getting some new subscribers, you guys that have jumped in, as new people to the live stream. I really appreciate the support from everybody that's always here, and then of course always the new people that happen to wander in and check things out. I really appreciate it, but we really need to do like a telethon kind of thing to push, to drive, to get to 1,000. I'm 837, something like that, which is it's an okay number, but I think we can do better. And I want to get up over 1,000. That's my goal. So spread the word, tell your neighbors, live stream with Aaron, because I mean, come on. All modesty aside, is there a better show on the internet? I don't think there is. Wait a minute here. Okay, Johnny Fitz has a question, so give me a second. Okay, Johnny, ask away, and we'll get to your question here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Same year for me. Spider-Man and Wonder Woman comics were my first comics. Excellent. How about that? Roscoe Davis. Wow, that's a long time ago. Wow. You get one of these. Okay, let's see. Lopresti, I have a question. We're waiting for Johnny's question to pop up. Hyper Kaiju, come for the drawing, stay for the snacks. That should be my motto, right? Come for the drawing, stay for the snacks. I like that. Or come for the snacks, stay for the drawing. One of the two, right? Let's see. Sequential Artist says someone needs to do some soul searching. It's an important healing process. And so the feet jokes just continue to roll in, much to Shelley's dismay. She's not digging the feet jokes. Let's see. Wow, that's incredibly informative. Thank you for that. Okay, so Johnny says, I have been struggling a little bit with the human figure and I need a little bit of help. Can you temporarily mentor me for a little bit, just a few days? I don't know what that means, but if you want to email me and explain your situation, I'll see what I can do for you. I certainly can give you some tips and some advice on how to approach it, and some books too that are quite helpful that maybe by this time you can probably just find online for free. Download the information you might need. Yes, I think that is accurate. Yes, I think that is accurate. There you go. So yeah, Johnny, just email me, kind of break it down for me, and I'll see what I can do, and maybe I can set up a live stream sort of tutorial, and we can just do it for you, but do it for everybody at the same time. So once I get a few questions of things that are you're struggling with or you'd like me to address, and then I can do that, I think. All righty. So moving right along, let's take a moment and show a little appreciation for an artist There's, it's been a big influence in my career, and I'm being serious. I'm not being sarcastic now. This is really true. Yep, that's Toccata and Fugue, or Fugue, in D minor by Bernie Wrightson. And that, I first saw that piece in the 1978 book, The Studio, which profiled Wrightson, Barry Smith, Kaluta, and Jeff Jones as they had shared a studio together there in the mid to late 70s in New York City, and the artwork they produced while they were working in this studio setting. I was almost said work together, but they really didn't work together, because my understanding is they sort of rarely were all in there at the same time. I mean, most of the time one guy would come in the middle of the night, another guy would come at this time of day, and whatever, and they would cross paths, but they didn't necessarily weren't in there working together all the time. But they surely produced some tremendous work while they were in that studio. And I believe that piece got turned into a limited edition print that Wrightson signed like in 1987, perhaps. And I don't know if that was like a bootleg kind of thing, if Wrightson did it just himself and did a few copies, or if someone actually produced that for him. I don't know, because I've never seen the print other than online, but I've never actually seen it in person. So I have no idea what the cost or value. I know the book, The Dragon's Dream, was the publisher that published the studio book. And I know that book is over $100 right now. It was a paperback, and it only had the one printing. And mine is just beat to heck, because I constantly was flipping through that thing. Mostly in the Wrightson section, but a little bit in the Smith section. And those are the two guys that I really liked. I mean, Kaluta a little bit, Jeff Jones a little bit here and there, but those were the guys, and especially Wrightson. So if you want to see that piece, you can look it up online. It's a really long, tall piece, and so that's why I did it in a pan when I revealed it here. But tremendous piece of artwork, a pencil drawing. So you want to check that out when you have time to actually sit and look at it in more detail. See, now Johnny's giving me respect, because I'm going to help him out, and no more calling you old man Lopresti. Let's see. I don't believe that for a second. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. We got lots of Wrightson love coming up. Excellent. I'm not sure what you're going for there, but this is, if your goal was this, you've achieved it. So that's 2 for Roscoe already. Wow. Wait a minute. I have another serious art question. I was reviewing your early YouTube vids, and you did a panel with massive trees that centered Garbage Man. Is it a difference to just make a narrower panel? Yes. Yes, it is. Well, no. Artistically speaking, okay, it just depends. If you're doing a narrower panel, like I made all the trees, and I believe what you're talking about is using a bunch of trees in the foreground as a framing device for the person in the background that you want to focus on, right? So you have a tree in the foreground over here, maybe one over here, and in the middle is someone in the background that you're focused on. And so you have these trees there, but they're really just basically silhouettes with not a lot of detail in them, because you don't want, obviously, your trees in the foreground, you don't want the reader to be focused on those. You want to be focused on the person in the background. The difference is, if I were to say just do a narrower panel where I cut the trees out and just showed Garbage Man, that's totally acceptable, but then you lose your environment, right? So what I'm trying to do when I do something like that is you're trying to create an artificial depth, just so it's a better visual, but also you're establishing a background. You're establishing the environment that the character's in. So you get a clearer sense, even though these are two bigger shadowed areas. They're trees in the foreground, and then you see him in the background sitting on a log with more bushes and trees around him. Really creates the environment that or the idea that you're in this forest environment. If I cut out that framing device, right, and just focus on Garbage Man in the panel, I lose the environment that I just set up. Okay, so I'm losing some of my storytelling, because now he could be sitting in somebody's backyard. He could be, maybe it's not as clear. So that's, yes, to a certain degree, it's showing off a bit and saying, oh, look at me, I'm being clever, I'm doing this depth perception thing, I'm leading the eye, I'm doing all these things. But it also does serve a practical purpose in that it's still an establishing shot that allows you to focus simply on the character and not get like totally overwhelmed with just the background and the environment, right? So it allows you to establish the environment, but also focus on the figure. I got like a skin from one of those peanuts and that piece of candy I ate sticking in my tooth, but now it's gone. It was pretty disgusting, but thank you very much. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, I think I said that, Lewis. I believe I said 1987. So, I played Yahtzee today and won. Did I say that already? Okay, last time I played my daughter in Yahtzee, not today, that was a different game, but the last time before that, I rolled, and I'm not kidding, this is not a lie, I rolled 5 Yahtzees in one game. 5, and that's not triple Yahtzee, just a single Yahtzee game. I rolled 5 Yahtzees. 3 of them were with 2s. It was the most bizarre thing. I mean, I got like 700 points. I just steamrolled her. It was hilarious. Okay. Here, now Lewis is giving us some dimensions. It's 15 by 24 on 17 by 24 art paper, limited to 350 print run. So I'm guessing you have one. So it's limited to 350. I got to guess it's probably, that print's probably a couple $100 or more if you want one. But like I said, I have it in the book, and it would be nice to have it larger because it is such a big piece. And in the book, it's small, even though it's a large book, it's still small, because it's a vertical piece. It's not a horizontal piece. So you need sort of that tall book format to really get a full effect of it. And that the Dragon's Dream book, the studio book, it actually is laid out horizontally. So kind of works against that piece. But yeah, I would get a print of that if it's not too outrageous. It is. And it's ridiculous is what it is. We were laughing so hard, we just could not believe it. But it happened. It'll never happen again, but it did happen. All right. So we are, oh my goodness. You guys realize we're 35 minutes into the show already? How is that even possible? You know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. And boy, are we having fun. I don't know, Roscoe, I didn't mean to put you up like that. But I do have some more stuff. So let's do this. Let's take a moment and reflect on the past and have a somber moment as we look at precious moments from yesteryear. What was that? I don't know. I was really late last night when I was prepping for the show. And the fact that I even prepped for the show should get me some pats on the back to begin with. But that's kind of my grumpy Father's Day video, I think maybe is what that is. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Hyper Kaiju, everybody loves the Herculoids. I found that out. I love the Herculoids. You love the Herculoids. Everybody loves the Herculoids. So I was actually glad I was able to work him in. And Johnny Fitz is apparently, he's stunned. The Flintstones, I mean, we are talking ancient now. We are talking ancient. But hey, I bring the classics, man. That's why it's yesteryear. That's why it's a precious moment from yesteryear. So, okay, finally, I didn't know, like I said, if Shelly was going to scoot in or not, but I don't think she's going to, because she would have been here by now if she was going to. So let me say this. One of the biggest questions I always get asked is what Shelly does at cons. People know what I do. I sit behind a table much like this. I talk to the people that come up and talk to me. I do drawings. I sell merchandise. I'm a man of the people. But what does Shelly do during cons? So let's find out, shall we? Dig those groovy tunes. So yeah, so that was like 92. I don't even think we were married. We were engaged. You know, we were at San Diego, and Shelly was really sort of enamored with all the kind of faux stardom that was, you know, that this comic book industry brought, you know, that, and so she got quite a kick out of meeting all the, you know, high-end artists and stuff that we would come in contact with. And of course, Jerry was quite famous for his work on what I believe, and against Louis Brightray, of course, will correct me on this if I'm wrong, but which I believe was the first hardcover original graphic novel that anybody published was Son of the Demon, which was Mike, not Barron. Oh gosh, I can't believe it. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, and Jerry Bingham wrote it, drew it, and so this was, you know, he was doing a piece for the art auction, and so Shelly was up there. We were, you know, hanging with Jerry and a few other people, and so we got a picture of Shelly up there. So you can see Shelly was quite young and vibrant, and now she's a little bit older, but still just as vibrant. So let's see here. Oh, not the little cutesy statuettes. What the heck does that mean? Lethal Assassin. Apex is jumping in with a happy Father's Day. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Oh, it's groovy, man. We're nothing if we're not grooving on this show. Barr, thank you, Mike Barr. Wrote that. Son of the Demon, and Jerry Bingham drew. So that's kind of the story behind that story. Anyway, I think that's really all the special kind of fun stuff I have. I always like to do this every once in a while, just to remind people.
Everybody loves pie.
Because it's true, everybody does love pie, and I mean, maybe I shouldn't have to remind people of that, but I like to, because, you know, pie is my favorite. And I don't just eat sweets all the time. Just sometimes. I mean, come on, I'm not in the best shape I've ever been in, but mostly that's because of the shoulder. But I'm now getting back to working out again, and so I would be like a dirigible, you know, if all I did was eat sugar. So we know that's not true. Oh no, this is interesting. I did not know this. What's Jerry Bingham doing recently? Fine Western art. How about that? There's quite the market for Western art if you're good. There really is. I know that Val Merrick, you know, is doing Western art and stuff too now, and I don't know to what degree. He used to live here in the Portland area, but he moved, and I haven't seen him in a couple of years, or even talked to him in a couple of years. Pie is privileged now. So what is the commoners? Do they eat cake? I don't know. Shelly's amazing. Best wishes to her. Happy Father's Day to you. Back to the grindstone for me. Y'all have a fun night. Thank you. I am about ready to draw in your book. So, you know, but if you got to leave, you got to leave. Thank you, Leg Kick. I will pass on everybody's well wishes to Shelly. Yeah, I actually have, I got to make sure I don't have cookie on my hand. Some of you may be familiar with this. This is my Raw Imagination 20 Years of Sketches sketchbook, hardcover sketchbook, 64 pages, full color, signed and numbered, limited edition to 750 copies. You can also get a sketch inside. So I'm going to do one of these because I have one of these to do. The thing is, I need some suggestions because, well, I probably won't listen to you guys anyway. But so I was given this and said, yeah, do whatever you want, man. So usually when someone says draw whatever you want, they either get Man Thing or Howard the Duck. So there's probably a really good chance that Howard the Duck's going to end up in this book. So we shall see. All right, let me move some stuff out of the way. We're also going to do some Marvel art here in a minute. Oh, I also want to plug. I've got some huge announcements. Not tonight, but coming next weekend, because you know what next weekend is? Next week. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have eaten. Next week is ErinCon 2021. And it's going to be, now I have to kind of figure out the times because I still have to drive my 19-year-old daughter to work. But I got to figure the times. But this is going to be Friday. It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be Sunday. And I might just go all freaking day, like a regular con each day. I mean, can I do it? Can I marathon it? I just might. I mean, I just might start streaming and then just like go for 7 hours. We shall see. But I may have like do like short breaks and then come back. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of formatting, getting the times down. But I'm going to have huge announcements. I'm going to have some guest appearances, I hope, if I can coerce the people to come on that I want to have on for conversation and like a panel. You know, like you go to a con, you'd have a panel, right? So be looking forward to that. I'll be posting on all my social media sites the details as I get them all figured out. As soon as I figure out my daughter's work schedule and how I can break the con days up, I may just go ballistic. Okay. So I will say this to you guys though, because there's several watching right now and several in the chat, that if you guys want a commission, that's either if you want a sketchbook or if you want drawn in, or if you want a sketch for me to do on the show. Now, you know, if I get 10 or 15 requests, I'm obviously not going to be able to do all of them live, but I will do as many as I can live, you know, probably at least a couple of days. So, so get with me this week and say, hey, I want to be on your show sketch list. And I'll give you the details to do that as well. So you can email me at Aaron@aaronlopresti.com. Visit my website, and you can email me through my website as well. So if you want to be part of the action, I will also be taking, depending on how many pre-show requests I get, I will also be taking requests live during the show. I will have original art for sale that you guys have not seen. Some pieces maybe you have seen, depends on how much you've been paying attention. But there'll be stuff. I'll have at least one print that will be exclusive just to the show, and it'll be a print to whoever. How many orders? If I get 10 orders, that's it. That's all there's going to be. If I get 20, there'll be 20, and I will show you what that is next week as well. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff. Fun stuff. I'll have the same setup I normally do. I'm thinking about putting my table back here, however, so that it'll always be in the background as opposed to off to the side where you can't see it. So, of course, when I have the camera down on my lap, we're drawing, you won't be able to see it anyway. But when I'm talking, I want the table behind me, so it's just like a con experience, right? As much as it can be without it actually being a con experience. So anyway, mark that down on your calendars. Next weekend is going to be huge. See, David Williams has been pushing this Aaron Con. So, so Chuck, Chuck's right. Aaron Con is a win-win because I win and you win. It's a win for everyone. Thank you, Chuck. Let's see. Louis Breyer says, I've done that. 5 hours is a good clip if you're on your own. Well, yeah, I mean, but if I was, my gosh, I go to shows and sit behind the table for, 10 hours. Get up, well, yeah, like 10 to 8, So what's the difference if I sit here and do it or sit at a con and do it? I'll have like these built-in please stand by bathroom breaks, or I got to get some food break or something like that, and then come back or whatever. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out exactly how I'm going to do it logistically. But oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I like that. Well, we all know that line from The Incredibles. So Johnny gives us a little laugh there. All right. So let me, while I'm doing this, let me switch banners just in case anybody's interested. A little sketchbook info. Okay, so I'm going to switch cameras. And yeah, I think I'm going to do, well, wait a minute. Who haven't I done? I don't want to do anybody too weird and obscure. I've done Captain America. I've done, I don't know if I've done Iron Man. Oh, man alive. Now, I want you guys to know that I do know who Bullet Girl is, but only because I'm an avid comic collector. I'm very familiar with the Golden Age comics, but I was not alive to read Bullet Girl. Okay, I'm not that old. Now, maybe Art Taber was, but not me. Look at that. There's a testimonial for you right there. Thank you, Chuck. Mary Marvel. The problem with Mary Marvel is can you really tell it's Mary Marvel just by a headshot? Now I already did a shadow though. I did a shadow in somebody's book. It was actually pretty cool, but I did one. Kind of dig that though. I do the shadow, but I already did that. Now I've got 2 people saying Bullet Girl. Clearly, Rhaegar Targaryen. I'm sure that's like a Lord of the Rings name or something that I'm just like totally, I have no idea what you're talking about. Let me show you really quick, if I could. This, oh, that's too small. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Why can't I get this to, there it is. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Here's the answer to the question you've been, there she is. That is Bullet Girl. Now she's Bullet Man's partner, right? And this is from like Fawcett Comics. So they were the same group that produced Captain Marvel, I mean Shazam, Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel. I just did Ms. Marvel. Doc Savage. Doc Savage is cool. I love this. Okay, that's not what I love. Where is it? I've been eating ramen and cheap hot dogs in hopes of getting stuff at ErinCon. That is brilliant. And you know, Shelley ping-ponged off that to give me a great quote for something that I will reveal at ErinCon. You know, I'm actually doing a spirit for this guy, but not on this show. Sorry. Conehead. Wow, she must be. Yeah, she's definitely a conehead. Is there a bullet man, bullet girl? Is there a bullet baby? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That was good. Airboy, Valkyrie, and the Heap. Yeah, I'll just draw all three of them in there. That seems like that'd be a good way for me to make money, is to draw multiple characters in the book for $20. Yeah, in fact, here you go. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Is there writing in your art book? Only. Well, here only the introduction. There is so I have an introduction written right there, and then there's like it's sectioned off to years, right? So the chapters are basically years, and that's it. There's no commentary though on the art. And then I have like an afterword kind of you know, about the author kind of thing in there, and that's it. But it is structured, but there's no. It's not like Barry Windsor Smith's opus or anything, you know, where I'm talking about meeting aliens or things like that. But when I do, it's not pretty. No, when I do end up publishing The Art of Aaron Lopresti, when it's a big, thick, huge book that's kind of a retrospect of my career and everything, there will be a lot of commentary in it. But I'm not to that point yet. I don't feel that I have got to a point where I still feel like I've got a lot of really good stuff and possibly my best stuff ahead of me. So I don't want to do a book until I feel like I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do in comics, and now I'm just coasting. How about Mr. Furious? I don't even know who that is. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. I didn't. I have not been greenlit on this, but it's on Amazon. So there's like, yeah, what Mike is referring to is, which most of you guys probably figured out anyway, is, let me show you. Yeah, it's that. This is on Amazon right now. It just came out. So as we see, it's actually, let me get rid of that banner for a minute so we can see the whole thing. Okay, so it's Aaron Lopresti, that's me. Garbage Man. You got Lopresti, Ryan, Kaliz, and McKay. So Aaron Lopresti wrote it and drew it. That would be me. Matt Ryan inked it, with the exception of a couple panels here and there that I inked. John Kaliz colored half of it. Plus, he also colored all the redo pages I had to do for it, the 20-some pages that I had to redo. And then Dave McKeag did the first 6 chapters, with the exception of the redo pages that John did that are mixed in there. So that's Warren Montgomery, a local here in Portland. He did the extra lettering that needed to be done, the adjustment, the fixed lettering on there. But of course, you know, they never give They never give letterers any credit on the cover. You have to actually open the book to get to see that. But so yeah, Dark Horse is publishing this, and it's 136 pages. So there's what do we got? 54 and 60 is what, 114. There's actually 104. No, actually added pages. There's 116 pages of story, I think, and then there's 7 pinups. Because when I did the original stories that were in the anthology books for DC, one was Weird Worlds and the other was My Greatest Adventure. So the first 6 issues of Weird Worlds, which featured the Garbage Man story along with Kevin Maguire's Tanga, and then Jerry Ordway did Lobo in there. But I was under the impression that we were all doing sort of like interior covers for each of our stories. So I did all my stories there were 9-page stories with an interior cover. So you basically get to Garbage Man, and that would be the interior cover. You turn the page and the story would start, right? Well, no one else did this except me, right? So it was completely stupid because I was the only one who did it. And so there was no continuity within this book. And so my first 6 segments or chapters of Garbage Man were 9 pages with a faux cover or an inside cover. Now, when we got to My Greatest Adventure and I did the next 6 segments to the story, I said, well, I'm not going to waste a page doing interior covers when no one else is doing it. I'm going to just do the whole full 10 pages of story, which I did. So what you have when you collect this in a trade paperback is you have the first 6 issues have these great faux covers that would be great as chapter headings, right, and before each story. But then the last 6 don't have them. So that would be stupid. So what I had them do is pull all the covers or the faux covers and put them in the back in a gallery and then just run the whole story, together, each, subsequent chapter, without a break. And so that's how it is. So that's the content. And plus the extra content, of course, is that like I said, there's Batman appeared on, I don't know, maybe 20 pages total out of this 116-page story or whatever it was. And sometimes he wasn't in a full page. It was just a couple panels or something like that. So, but all that stuff had to be redrawn because Batman had to be taken out of the book. And what I did was I introduced a new super team from the Lopresti-verse, which will actually have a real name, which you'll find out next week. Oh, teaser. And so those of you saying, well, I've got the comics, why would I want to get the trade paperback? You get the trade paperback because there's actually 20 pages of new material in there. I mean, it's the same story, but now it's with some different characters that you've never seen before, that their first appearance will be officially in this trade paperback. So there it is. I don't believe you can order this through comic shops yet because it doesn't come out till November, but because they make these deals with book distributors as well as comic book shops. The book distributors have to be like 6 months in advance, while the comic book stores are 3 months in advance. So you can order this on Amazon, or you can wait until September, maybe, when it'll be in your Diamond catalog or whatever. And either way, I don't care. You want to help your local comic shop, but it is coming up. So, and I don't know exactly when it's going to be in the catalog. So if you want to get it through your local comic shop, go up to them right now and say, hey, can I order this yet? You may be able to, you may not to. I don't know exactly how that's working. So, but yes, so Dark Horse will be publishing this for me. And I'm very excited that it's going to be coming out this year in November. So that's the big sales pitch. You'll be getting more of that sales pitch, obviously, every time I do a live stream from now on, since this is now a thing, an official thing. And I want to pump it up as much as possible, obviously. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like Captain Marvel. I wish I could say it was, but it's not. The Indiegogo was originally planned to have a new 16-page story. So it would have had all the the new art to replace Batman, but it also would have had a 16-page story if I'd been able to pull that off successfully, which I unfortunately was not able to. So that 16-page Garbage Man story is still on the drawing table, and but that doesn't mean we won't ever see it. But again, that's a story for next week. Again, another teaser. Oh my goodness! Now, Paul, now we're on to something. MODOK seems to be the logical answer, doesn't it? Because if you do a headshot of MODOK, that is MODOK, right? I mean, that's MODOK. I might just go that route. Oh, I might just go that route. I like that. MODOK. Okay, well, enough of this. Let's get to work. Gosh darn it. Now that we've been on for an hour and I haven't drawn anything, it's outrageous. You guys keep talking to me, though. But that's what we're here for. It's conversation, right? Conversation and art. Oh, wait a minute here. Oh, for crying out loud. I am going to turn off the message section if we don't start getting a bit of improvement from this, Roscoe. Boo! Oh, it's horrible. Horrible. Wait a minute. Wait. Do I sense a question? Yeah. Do I have favorite work you've done? No. Thank you for asking, though. Okay. Well, favorite work or best work? Man. Okay. I think you could argue that the best work I've ever done in comics was, oh, my dog's asleep right underneath my camera. The best work I've ever done in comics, you could argue, and I would argue would either be Mystic or Garbage Man. Garbage Man probably. Oh, God, I did some really nice stuff in Mystic too. Garbage Man, Mystic, and I might go out and argue that my Dark Multiverse Infinity Crisis story is some of the best art I've done. And but my favorite? Planet Hulk, maybe? No, actually, okay. If I can just go for a single piece of work, my my What If Avengers story, because I got to draw it practically. Well, I did draw everybody in the Marvel Universe that I even gave a remote rip about. Excuse me while I type in my name in search engine and MODOK, because I want to make sure I get his headdress correctly. Let's see. If you type in Lopresti MODOK, you get all sorts of fun stuff from Ms. Marvel. It's not all me, though. In fact, there's a lot of MODOK in here that I didn't draw. That's just outrageous. All right, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for that. Wow, that's like the tiniest splash page. Check this out. Now, those of you who read my Ms. Marvel run, my legendary Ms. Marvel run, that was a splash page, MODOK splash page. The writer asked me, what do you want to draw? And I said, MODOK. And so he worked MODOK, and MODOK was like a huge, huge part of the storyline. So I've got all these MODOK pages stashed in my flat files, which is interesting because it's probably those are worth money now because of the television show. MODOK's gotten like super hot right now. I bet I could probably sell those for big bucks. I wanted to. But I don't really want to. That's why I kept him, is because I love MODOK. Which in and of itself probably doesn't make a lot of sense, because he is just sort of this weird. But he's so, I mean, you want to talk about the ultimate weird Kirby character. Jamie Christmas. Giant head floating around. I mean, that's, you know, come on, that's pretty good stuff. Oh, but he doesn't have any pupils, does he? He just has the white eyes. He looks a little bit like the Hulk here. Like I made him look like the Hulk a little bit. So he's got his little making his little tiny fist here in anger, because MODOK he's angry. He's very frustrated. He has like a really big head. It's very frustrating for him, I think. And then he's like in a little chair, right? And that frustrates him too, I think. He's in this little chair. Yeah. Yeah, baby. You know, I happen to agree with this little comment right here. The weird superhero fantasy type characters are usually the best, though. I find them the most enjoyable. I've never heard this before, so this is like a new adjective or something. When I was a kid, MODOK was what we did when we took off real fast. We were MODOKing. Wow. Interesting. Flying porta potty. Yes. You know, I don't even know if I want to dig into this, but my goodness. I mean, do they have like is he like a motorhome? They have to like hook up the tube and, flush out the porta potty that he's got going on in his chair. I don't know. I mean, those are the kind of things that you don't want to think about them, think about too much. But his first appearance, which I have a nice 9.2 copy of, it's Tales of Suspense 91, I think. That book is going for over $800 right now. MODOK's first appearance. And I got it simply because, you know what they say? They say collect stuff, because you like it, not because you hope or think it'll be worth money, right? And so that's what I did as a kid. Now, I think that's a stupid thing to say, because there's a lot of books I should have got that are worth a fortune now that, yeah, I don't like them, but I could have sold them and got other stuff I did like. But anyway, but they say, collect what you like and you'll never be, dissatisfied or whatever. So here I am collecting all these MODOK appearances simply because I just love MODOK because he's so weird, and now they're worth money. But I guess as long as the Marvel Universe stays on TV and movies, eventually every character is going to show up in a film at some point, and it's going to be worth more than it is right now. So, although I find that kind of amusing that TV appearances are fueling collectors' prices on comics. I don't really understand that. Why suddenly, because somebody's going to show up in a TV show, suddenly makes their comic more collectible or more expensive, But I guess they figure it's going to drive more people into the industry to find those first appearances, and that's what's driving up the price. But what's really driving up the price is the collectors buying all of them, hoping that more people come in looking for the character's first appearance. So I don't know. But I'm a collector myself, so I can't really disparage other collectors. But my goodness, there's an inflated market right now. I can tell you that. This is an excellent question that I can't answer. Yes, that was another big head. Like Kirby did a lot of weird stuff. I assume you're talking about the porta potty joke. That's the fuel. Could be. Could be. Eric Hutfels is here. Hello, Eric. Thank you for dropping in. You know what? We have, it looks like we have maybe some new people dropping in. So let me do this really quickly. It's really important that if you're not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. You get notifications when I'm live streaming, and those regulars in here will tell you that I could live stream at any moment. And I always do it Sunday at 5:30 if I'm in town and able. That's my regular time slot that I don't really seem to be competing against anybody else, at least in comic book land. And so, you know, I'd appreciate it if you'd take a moment to subscribe and like the content, even if you don't like the content, because, you know, let's just all be nice, right? And help a brother out, as the saying goes. YouTube is running tons of ads and almost exclusively weight loss ads before my videos. Although there's one where Jane Goodall was talking chimpanzee. That was another one I saw. But all the other ones seem to be weight loss. And it may be because we're a snack-centric channel. I don't know. But there you go. But yeah, so if they're running ads, my goodness, I should get a little piece of that action, shouldn't I? So, but I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before I can even start to get a couple pennies off the advertising that they're putting in front of my content. So help me out. All the time I spend prepping for the show. And it may seem like a joke when you actually watch the show that certainly he didn't prep, but I do. It's crazy actually how much I prep for the show. Except the last second live streams, which I do not plan and do not announce, and I just go for it because that's more raw, that's more real. And if you believe that, I've got a bridge I'll sell you. Now, it is pretty, I do not plan at all for the live second ones. I just kind of just do it. So I figure what the heck. A lot of times they turn out good. I had Dave Olbrich kind of show up out of the blue, and I had him on for a short conversation. David Williams is always a possibility to show up. And sometimes draw, sometimes just talk about comics in general. Like I said, I'm going to try and get some people to show up in during AaronCon. We'll see how it all turns out, though, because I don't know. Still working on programming at this point. And this is a more elaborate sketch than I was planning on doing, but that's my own fault. You know, I can't blame the guy. He didn't ask for this. But MODOK is, boy, come on. I can't turn down an opportunity to do MODOK. Yeah, it's funny, when I was at Marvel and I had just finished up on Excalibur and was kind of doing some other stuff for them. I remember Mike Martz was, they were in an editorial meeting, and they were going to do this MODOK miniseries, right? And they were discussing in the meeting, like, who to get to draw it. And Mike Martz goes, we could ask Aaron Lopresti. And I guess, the editorials in the meeting were like, he's not going to draw a MODOK miniseries. And he goes, oh, you might be surprised. And I seriously considered doing it, although I knew no one would buy it. And so I was like, that'd be just stupid for me to do it, but I really wanted to do it. But I did not end up doing it. But the fact that I was considering doing it, I think, speaks volumes to the issues I have. Because most guys are too concerned with their careers to actually be cut doing stuff like that. But I'm going over to, to DC and saying, hey, can I write and draw Metamorpho? They're like, why, you want to commit suicide, career suicide? And I'm like, I guess. So, I wrote and drew Metamorpho and Garbage Man and all sorts of stuff that no one ever saw. But we're seeing it now, better late than never. Oh my gosh, this is just such good, clean fun. Has the has this animated show premiered yet? The MODOK animated show? Because I assume it would be on Disney, right? If it did, because I've seen like clips or memes or stuff from it, so I don't know, is it actually out there, or is that just preview material that they've put out to kind of promote it? Oh, wait a minute. So yes, haven't watched it. It's on Hulu. Why is it on Hulu? Why wouldn't it be on Disney streaming? That doesn't make any sense. Oh no, wait a minute. Okay, so is it Netflix or Hulu? We need proper information here, you guys. Proper information. The question is, Past Master Dan, did you read my Metamorpho? Okay, because his girlfriend was not bubble-headed in my version. She was actually a research, let me try that again, a research scientist. In fact, let me go ahead and plug my own stuff, because if I don't, who is going to? So excuse me typing just for a second. Oops, I can't show that. I have to oh, that's too dang small. How about this? That's even smaller. Why doesn't anybody post any big images on the web, on the internet, on the interweb? Oh, there we go. There's a big one. Okay, so then I can go here. Then I can go and do this and click that. 3, 4. I have to click 5, 6 buttons to do this, just to show you that. That is the trade paperback, my friends, of Metamorpho that I wrote and drew, and Matt Banning inked some of it. And John Livesey inked a couple issues. I inked 5 or 6 pages. And oh my goodness, Batman inker. Oh my goodness. See, old age is creeping in. Anyway, so yeah, so I did that, and I actually thought it was pretty good, but you know, again, it was Dan DiDio, gosh darn him. He put it in another, originally in a another anthology book, so it just got buried and no one saw it. And Legends of Tomorrow anthology, but then they traded the whole thing in by itself. So anyway, that is out there, and you should pick it up. Like I said, it's probably on Amazon right now. Okay, back to MODOK. Eric wants to know, why does Chris Sotomayor sound so familiar? Because he's a colorist that's done a lot of work. So you've probably seen his name on a bunch of stuff. When I did 4 issues of Captain Marvel, my very first Marvel work after CrossGen, it was shot from my pencils. There was no inker on it because it was like really not selling well. That was Peter David writing, and then I came in and did 4 issues. I think the last 4 issues for the canceled the book. And Sotomayor also goes by Soto, did the coloring on that. So he's actually colored several things that I've worked on. Brian Miller from Hi-Fi colors a lot of my stuff as well. Brad Anderson has colored some stuff of mine. Of course, Brad now is considered one of the top dogs in the industry, so I can never get him to do anything because I never work on projects that are big enough to warrant his attention. And I don't mean that in the sense that he's arrogant or something like that. I just mean that you're not going to color my Metamorpho covers if you're working on Batman or Justice League or something. And Chris does a fine job. I'm not saying Chris, and Matt Banning did a terrific job, but he left the book and went over to work over Finch on Batman or Detective. And so I had to get someone else very quickly to finish the series. Ended up with a couple of guys, like I said, John Livesey inked, I think, the last 2 issues. And I cannot believe I can't remember Thinker's name, because I know him and he's really good. And it's ridiculous that I can't think of his name right now, but I can't. And it may be because it's like 100 degrees up here right now. All right, so there I did. I drew MODOK in a book. How about that? MODOK sketch. So that is the ultimate headshot in a book, right? So we'll sign it, and we will deliver it. Where's my Bat book? I got to find out what number this is. I think it's 277, but boy, I don't want to put the incorrect number here because that would be horrible to put out 2 books with the same number. See, it's 276. This is for a sequential artist who ditched us earlier. So I hope he's not going to be disappointed with MODOK, because I mean, really, how could you possibly be disappointed with MODOK? I know I'm not. All right, so now we're going to pick up a paper clip off the floor before my dog eats it. I did that. Okay, that's fantastic. Now we're going to get to some serious drawing. Oop. Does anybody remember the number I just said? I looked at the number and I'm like, wow. 276, right? 276. 276. 276. Can I get from here to there to here without forgetting? 276. Alrighty. Okay, so now the big surprise. What the heck am I going to draw? You know, I've given this a lot of thought. It's my hand and my leg. Apex is digging MODOK. Thank you. Paul wants to know if he water skis in that. You know what? Don't they pull people around in inner tubes? You know, behind ski boats? I think they do. So yes, I think he could. It depends on how heavy it is, but you got to figure that it's buoyant, right? There's got to be some buoyancy there. Okay. I thought about this long and hard, and everybody always wants me to draw female characters, and I'm sick of drawing female characters all the time. So I've kind of made a point this last week and a half to do live streaming where I'm drawing male characters. And there's not going to be an exception today. So we'll just, it shouldn't take you guys too long to figure this out, but this is 9 by 12, so it's not going to be full figure. See, I already screwed it up. I'm going to start with a blue pencil, I think. Kind of figure my way through this. I'm going to go Kirby again, I think, because I think it's appropriate for the character. I usually don't do full figure for 9 by 12, but I'm going to this time. So you can see I got that big Kirby hand there in the foreground. All right, now that I've kind of figured out what I want to do here, you know, this is interesting. Not this. This is just annoying. And Hyper Potato gets my first triple of the night. I will always accommodate someone who wants to order a book. So, Leg Kick, here's the deal. If you want to sketch inside, which I assume you do, make sure you put in the PayPal when you send me the money what it's for. So in other words, sketchbook with MODOK inside, or sketchbook with MODOK, you know, something like that. And then make sure your address is on there, because when I get these things, I get them done, I get them packaged up, I'm ready to ship them out, I'm ready to produce a mailing label, and I go to PayPal and your address isn't there. So then I got to email you, then I got to wait for you to get back to me, and then I miss the, you know, the mail, and then I got to go the next day. So make sure your address is in there. Make sure you're telling me why you're sending me money, and you will get the book so fast you won't believe it. Well, okay, that's not true, because I'll be done with it and ship it super fast, but I send it out media mail. That's why it's only $5 shipping. And so it takes a while to get there, but it will get off the board and into the mail very quickly. See, now, how in the world can we possibly have an Atari Force Insurrection? Okay, I am not going to acknowledge any more Atari Force comments. This, now, Paul, you're reading my mind. I shouldn't say anything, but I was planning on doing a Wrights and Frankenstein and having it available for sale during the ErinCon. So keep your eyes open for that, because I'm thinking about doing that. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the people are going to be just crying out, period. All right, I'm not rewarding anybody else for Atari Force comments, so quit making them. I think we sailed that that boat just sailed. Okay, all right, so back to this. So let me just ask you guys, it's kind of a general question. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just simply asking, who, provided it was a book that you liked, but who would, if someone put out, if there was what variant cover artist, for example, or cover artist would you buy a book on just because of the cover? What cover artist would, like, is someone that you would go, oh yeah, I'm picking that up? I want some names. I think we can probably guess who this is, right? Bisley, Dorman, Aaron Lopresti. Now that's not what I wasn't looking for that, but I'll reward it anyway. Thank you. Bisley, Dodson, Hughes. Yeah, I buy a lot of Adams stuff too. And my Plastic Man. Yeah, I almost did that series too. Almost. Weak. That's weak sauce right there. Weak. I'll pick up most any Joe Kubert or Garcia Lopez. Okay, well, you're a Atari Force man, of course. Currently, I try to order Adam Hughes art, Adams, and Aaron Atari Force Lopresti. Oh my gosh. I know I said I wasn't going to do this anymore, but okay. J. Scott Campbell, Ed Bennis, and Berto Ramos. Jay Lee. Wow. There's no consensus, by the way, yet. No one has been mentioned twice in this. So, but, I'll keep soliciting and see who comes up. That was interesting. Certainly everybody has their own favorites, right? I used to think Doom was kind of corny. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. I used to think Doom was pretty corny. Maybe just because he was around so much and he was always showing up. But I actually think he's really cool now. I've sort of developed a real sort of appreciation for the greatness of Doom. But it seems like, man, especially in the Silver Age, if they need a villain for a month in an issue, it's like, throw Doctor Doom in there. I mean, when Doctor Doom shows up in Daredevil, come on. Because it's like Daredevil has, let me think, 0 chance of defeating Doctor Doom. Of course, he showed up in Spider-Man number 5, which is interesting because his first appearance was in FF number 5. Coincidence? I think not. You know, Terry's Wonder Woman and Elmer Fudd opera cover was incredible. You know, Simon Bianchi's really good. Adam, of course, is really good. Because our first repeat customer was Adam Hughes. Good. Excellent. Hybrid Potato is actually might be setting a record for slaps in this episode. There you go. You should have like Doom t-shirts with that on that, right? Like has this little sort of medieval tunic on too, you know. Also sort of like the simplicity of his armor because it's easy to draw. I think this is very similar actually to the Luke Cage pose I did not too long ago. Let me see if I can, maybe if I see if I can move that camera and we get, that's better. That's better. Let me zoom out a little bit if I could. There we go. Now there's a couple names he dropped that I have never heard. Sun Kamanukai, I assume that's Japanese artist, and Sora Sung are also really good and have been doing covers for Polito. Interesting. Okay, well that's probably why I haven't seen him because I haven't seen. I know that Brian's doing a lot of Kickstarter. I mean, all Kickstarter stuff, and I'm not necessarily privy to what he's got going on over there. I'm going to ignore you, Jeff Potts. Let's see. This is a long one, so it must be good. So Winston says he buys my covers. I appreciate that, Winston. Sonny Lou, not sure who that is, but as a general rule, I buy comics to read and appreciate the art. So for instance, if a Wonder Woman comic had a variant or two, I'll try to get them. If they are priced too high, like 100 or more, I might give it a miss, even if it's from a favorite comic. If I were at a convention and the artist I like is there, like you, thank you, I will go hunt for all the covers and comics you have done for you to sign on them, assuming there is no limit and the artist is willing, of course. Well, those of us who've been around as long as I have, we do have to sort of limit because holy crap. If you remember, not too long ago, I did my all my covers, which was a continuation over 2 shows, maybe 3 shows, and it did like 224 or something like that. I mean, I had no idea I'd done that many covers. But yeah, I've got to a point where I can't remember what my number is. I'll have to go check what I finally decided on. But I think I only sign 5 comics now for free. And then if you want more than 5, I charge $1 a piece for everyone after that. Because I was getting guys just literally bringing boxes of comics. And it wasn't a big deal when I was younger and I hadn't done that much stuff. So, you know, you have people bring a couple issues from whatever you're working on and that's it. But, you know, when you've got a 30-year career, and you're talking, I've literally done probably 300 or more comics in that span. And when someone brings you like short boxes full of every comic you ever drew, it's like, dude, I am not signing all those. But so, and I used to do that until, like I said, the numbers got so ridiculous. It was like, you know, I'm there for an hour signing, you know, somebody's books. So I try to put a limit on it. And not a limit that I'll sign, but a limit that I will sign for free. And then I always charge $10 for CGC books because they're just going to sell those anyway. And so if they're willing to pay CGC, you know, $50 to grade the book, they can probably afford to pay me $10 to sign it. It's kind of how I look at it. So we're using the old Le Pen for inking. I'm going to do a video. It won't be a live one, but it'll be like a process video where I basically discuss all the different tools that I use and where you can get them and that type of stuff. So that was actually Shelley's idea, and I think it's a pretty good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But my focus right now is trying to get prepped for ErinCon next weekend. And I just pick up a couple of cover gigs, or at least one cover gig that I have to get started on. It's for a book cover. It's not a comic book cover. But I have to have all the stuff that I want to premiere at ErinCon done. All the stuff I'm going to sell at ErinCon done. And then all the scheduling for ErinCon, I got to get that done. So, very busy week. How much I'll be live streaming before ErinCon? Probably not a lot, because I'll be leading up, since I'm going to be doing just like marathon live streaming sessions. So if you can't make like all of the shows for ErinCon, you'll be able to, I'll be on so much, you'll be able to at least catch me some of the time. Now, if you're interested in, you know, buying original art, you'd better be there at the right time, because that stuff generally goes fast, but you never know. You never know. Let's see. I just ordered the book with a sketch. I hope I get you everything you needed. Thanks. Leg kick. Fabulous. Thank you so much. I'll check it later, but if I have any trouble, I'll let you know. Sounds like I started when sounds like I started drawing comics when you quit collecting. Well, it's pretty good timing. That's very nice. This one draws the form of the cast. Thank you. Appreciate that. For the right price, of course. No, we already did that. Thank you. Doom appreciates artists who sign his comics in blood. I think that's true. I think he would. Or Kiss would appreciate, signing their comics in blood. What is it that modern writers don't understand about megalomania? Most modern writers are megalomaniacs themselves. They try to write themselves as the hero boys, and that. Well, I'm not going to say that. If you ever draw my favorite character in this action pose, please keep me in mind, as I hope to get it from you. Thank you. I assume he's talking about Wonder Woman. Because they're both too crazy. The 90s were lost. Yeah, that's when I started, really. I mean, I started in the late 80s, but I didn't really do anything of note until the 90s. This is maybe a bit looser than I would normally do, but that's all about the fun, isn't it? Fun with a pencil, as Andrew Loomis used to say. Or as he said, it's the title of one of his books, actually. I don't know if he went around saying it or not. All right, so we have some basic outline going there. So now we'll get a little bit more serious here in a minute. I got to do that face, though. So I'm going to go with the 0.1 micron now. And for no particular reason other than that was just happened to be sitting there. I sort of use the Le Pens and microns sort of equally. I don't know if one's better than the other, quite frankly. It depends on what you're using to define that, that terminology being better than, by what standards, I guess. For me, just for inking, they both have the same level of responsiveness, I guess, if you want to put it that way. But which one is less likely to fade, or not fade, but kind of gray down when you erase over the top of it? That's what I'm looking for, is a pen that stays dark despite that. And if you use actual like India ink, like you ink with a brush or something, and you leave it out long enough, or leave the ink bottle open long enough that the extra moisture in it evaporates, and you really have a very black, thick ink. That usually stays very darky when you erase over the top of it, but most inks are going to fade a little bit, or not fade, but when you erase over the top of them, they will take some of the black off, so they're just a little bit grayer, not as dark. And I don't like that. Just from an original standpoint, you like the originals to look really dark. But I don't know, maybe I put too much stock in that kind of stuff. Actually, I gotta spot some blacks in here so I know. See, sometimes these blacks, you put the black marker down and you gray over the top of it and that black bleeds, but it's more dependent on the paper you're using. And this is really kind of, it's not heavily textured, but it's textured enough that, and it's really heavy. I think this ink sinks in pretty well, so I don't think I'm going to have bleeding problems. So I can go ahead and put the black in here, because I think it's just going to soak into the paper so well that it's not going to cause me any problems when I go over it with a gray marker. But we'll find out in a few minutes, that's for sure. Let's see. Aaron, what hobbies do you enjoy? Oh gosh, that's probably really, really good. That's funny. All right, buddy, lay down, feel better soon. Thanks for dropping in. Well, I know if I was doomed, that's exactly what I'd be reaching for, is the chocolate milk. Blackthorn was in San Diego, I think. Southern California for sure, LA area. Aaron, what hobbies do you enjoy? Boy. Well, I was a very avid basketball fan and player for years, and not anymore, of course. I still enjoy just, I don't know if watching sports is a hobby. I suppose it is. But I'm a big college football fan, and I will watch the NBA. I love comic collecting. That's my number one hobby. You know, the fun of searching out books. I mean, now we do it on the internet, right? Where it used to be going to cons, finding comics, old comics at cons was more magical because you never really knew what you were going to find. And, you know, if something really, you know, there was a gem you were looking for showed up, it was really quite the exciting moment. I collect movie posters a little bit. I collect, you see, collecting is apparently all my hobbies. I collect movie cameras and movie memorabilia a little bit. I'm not really an outdoorsy type. We used to go fishing quite a bit and camping when we were little. But it's funny, most of my hobbies or most of my vacations and stuff like that have all sort of revolved around the industry. You know, it never took 2 weeks off, because if you don't get paid vacation, when you're working in comics or you're, working for yourself. You take time off and you just lost, 2 weeks worth of money to pay your bills. So it was something I never did. All vacations I ever took and family vacations were always associated with some sort of con trip. With the exception of we did go to Disneyland a couple of times, but that wasn't for like a week or anything. That was, 3 days or whatever. So you kind of squeeze that out over a weekend. But yeah, most of my hobbies are generally collecting involved. And I mean, drawing's a hobby. I mean, drawing is my profession, obviously, but it's also what I really enjoy doing. So I spend a lot of time drawing. Especially at 57, which I am now. It's kind of like when I was younger, we used to do stuff, but it's kind of like now you're kind of like, I'll just stay home and draw. Occasionally put a model together, things like that, but very occasionally. I would have to say comic collecting is my number one hobby. Which doesn't make me sound like a very rounded individual. But I will say that, to get good at something, I mean, really good at something, professional at something, takes such an amount of time commitment to your craft that, you find that you're doing it all the time. And I do enjoy the challenge of getting better. My hobbies used to be taking my kids around, right? Drawing. Did I draw? Did I actually say that? Is that how it came out, or is that just like? See, sometimes you guys make jokes in the mess. And when I say jokes, I mean that, of course, very, very loosely. In the chat, that I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know if I said something or you heard me say something that I, pronounced something incorrectly or slurred my letters or whatever. Uh-oh, that black is fading on me. That means a messy refill is probably in my future. I will say it's much more fun drawing like this, where I'm not putting a great deal of thought into what I'm doing. A lot of times they'll come out much fresher and more energetic. So there's some real value in that, I think, because I was having a conversation with David Williams on this very live stream not too long ago, and we're talking about, overworking stuff or trying to get a looser, more, fresh feel to the artwork. And this is one way you do it. It's like watercoloring. To really be a successful, and there, okay, I shouldn't, that's a generalization, but to, watercolors for the most part, I mean, there's some guys that do really incredible tight detail watercolor work, but for the most part, you want to treat watercolors very loosely, and kind of, when you're painting, you want to lay it down quick and sort of, so you get kind of a painterly feel to it, rather than trying to gloss everything up so it looks like a photograph. And although I do, I have a great appreciation for guys that can do that and do that, but I really love to look at paintings and artwork that is painterly, where you can actually see the paint technique, and so it's not just you trying to create photorealism, which let's face it, you can get with a camera. So why would you do that with your artwork? I mean, there is sort of like this kind of, oh, that's really cool, it looks real, but I drew it. But there's also something really cool about creating an image that has a texture and a feel to it that is where you're actually using the texture of the medium that you're working in to create the art. And you really do get more energy and more life in your art when you don't overwork it. But it's really hard not to overwork it, because we always get sort of focused on the details, that oftentimes we look past the big picture. And the big picture being, what's the feel? What does it feel like? What does it look like as a whole unit? Not just what do these lines right here look like, but how's the overall effect for the entire picture? How is that working? But because we can only, draw a section at a time, we get focused on that section we're working on, sometimes to the detriment of the whole picture. Let's see here. I have not. I'll have to check that out. Make sure you like the video, kids. Subscribe to the channel. Get some ad money, boys. Not the truth. Help a brother out. In fact, that reminds me, I'll go ahead and run this. You get the angry growl if you don't subscribe. Actually, you're going to get it anyway. I don't know why I'm doing all this line work right now, because I'm going to go over this with gray marker, and I should probably wait and do the line work after I do the marker. Right? Makes sense. It seems like the logical thing to do. I'm going to erase some of this. But see, to me, this is more of a sketch. You know what I mean? When you go to a con and say, oh, I want to get a sketch. I mean, this is a sketch. And when I do work that's way, way tighter than this, I don't call it sketches anymore. I just call them commissions, marker commissions. And although the marker commissions are still looser than, say, if I did artwork that was going to be used on the cover of a comic book, it's still way tighter than, a loose sketch would be. So, and I think a lot of us have got ourselves into trouble, because if I was truly just doing sketches, if someone came up to me at a con and said, yeah, do me a Dr. Doom sketch. And I did it like this, kind of this loose, and what I'm doing here. They may like it, they may not like it, right? Because in those situations, you pay in advance. And so that always makes me worried that I don't want to go too loose because I don't want someone to think that they're getting ripped off or something, right? So I can do a piece this loose here, and then I can set a price on it, and then you've seen it, so you know exactly what you're getting. No surprises. And then you can make a decision based on whether you think, okay, that's worth $200, or it's not worth $200, or it's worth $300, or it's not worth $300, or whatever I happen to be, charging for it. Which right now I don't know, because I'll have to take a look at it when I'm done and make a decision then. But we'll do his metal here. I did get notified by the guy that I did the Swedish sci-fi comic for. So apparently that's going to be coming out soon. So I'll also have information about that during Aaron Con, if anybody wants to check that out. I'll tell you where and how you can do that. But now, excuse the werewolf arm, I'm going to take a drink here. Because it probably is 90 degrees up here in this studio right now. It's very warm. And I'm going to refill this stinking thing. Ooh. My cookie's really thawed out. Shoot, I just took a bite of the cookie and I got stuff all over my hands. That was dumb. I gotta find, excuse me while I eat, but remember, this is the official snacking show of YouTube, so I gotta see if I got a C1 in here I can refill with. I may not. I'll tell you, man. Well, what the heck. We'll just move up to a C2 and worry about filling the C1 later. Oh, wait, is it? No. Okay. Because I know I refilled a bunch of pens just yesterday, and the C2 was one of them. I thought I'd refilled the C1, but apparently that is not correct. And it seems that no matter how many pens I refill, whatever ones I want to use during a live stream, those are the ones that are empty. So I'm just going to lay C2 all over the place here, I think. And then I'm going to go in with like a darker, maybe a C3 and a C4 to darken some of these areas. And then I'll put in highlights with my white Presto pen after that. I think my dog is like, dude, it is too hot in here, I'm leaving. But he has more body hair than I do, so I'm sure he's very warm. Okay. So I quickly went in and laid in a C2 all over the place. So now we want to go, well, let's see if the C3, there may not be a huge difference between the C2 and the C3 when you lay them next to each other. There really isn't. But try and get some metal effects, I guess. Uh-oh. She's here.
I'm here.
Shelly rolled in.
Ugh.
You had many well wishes.
Oh, nice. Let's see what's going on.
See what the folks are saying?
Yep.
Well, we already did all the features that featured you. So
Do what?
So we already did all your features already.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, we're talking CBD. You guys are really getting after it.
Okay, it is freaking hot in here.
Finally, I'm going back to the beginning. Has it really been that long?
I've been on for over 2 hours.
Wow.
Shelly's rolling back to all
Yep.
the beginning of the comments so she can get caught up.
Yep.
So I went ahead and showed him your con memories with Jerry Bingham.
Ooh, the spandex years. And the big hair.
Yeah, that was 92. That's when we were engaged. We weren't even married at that point.
Really?
Yeah, because 93 we had little baby Josh. That was not, I just had a baby Shelly picture. That was, I'm not married yet, Shelly picture.
Gotcha. What were you guys talking about?
Oh, but since you're here,
What?
oh, we
What?
can do one thing that I was planning on doing that I didn't do.
Gosh. As long as I'm not on camera, I'm good.
Let's take a moment and do the one thing that I didn't get to do because Shelly wasn't here.
Oh, I see.
Oh, wait a minute, we got to get rid of that.
Yeah. You don't have to do all that.
Okay, clear the board.
Okay.
Clear the board. Here we go.
Are you sure?
Sure. This is a segment we like to call Fact or Fiction.
Fact or crap?
So, Shelly, is it a fact or is it fiction that you began a conversation with 3 male actors from the television show Weird Science while we were at the Universal Commissary and had no idea who you were talking to? Is that fact or fiction?
Well, Aaron,
Yes.
I believe that's a fact.
That was a fact, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fact. We were.
Oh my god.
We actually were down in LA. Terry.
Well, I do have a hard time talking to people I don't know, right?
Yeah. Wow. It's almost a disease. Terry Dodson, Rachel Dodson, Shelly, and I went down to LA for the weekend to go movie poster shopping. And while we were there, our good friend Bill Stout, professionally known as William Stout.
Oh, but to us, he's Bill.
He's Bill.
But dude.
He was working at the Universal Studios at the time, designing arcade places that Spielberg and company at DreamWorks were going to start launching. And I think they only actually did the one in Seattle and never got any farther than that. But so I contacted William Stout and I said, Bill, except we're friends. And I said, hey, man, we're going to be in LA. Can we stop by and see at Universal? And he said, yeah, come by for lunch. So we did. And of course, this is pre 9/11, right? So we just walked up to the gate. He put our name on the list. The security guard goes, come on in. So we met him. He showed us around where he was working, showed us what he was working on. And then we went to lunch at the commissary at Universal. And so we're all standing in line to get some chow. Husker.
Boogity.
quit tearing that up.
What are you doing?
Sorry. And so as we're standing in line, Terry and Rachel and I were standing there, and Shelley's striking up a conversation with some people.
I don't remember how it
Actually,
started.
Shelley was well.
What?
You could start a conversation like that, though.
No,
so
it has to have something.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But she didn't know who she was. She was just, talking to these guys, and they were the two young actors. I mean, they were, 20-somethings, and from Weird Science.
But not the movie.
No, the television show.
Right.
And the girl who played the model they created, she was right in front of us.
Gotcha.
And so we talked to her a little bit, but I knew who I was talking to when I was talking to her, and Shelley had no idea.
I'm not the brightest bulb in the
She
pack.
was chatting these dudes up, and it was pretty funny. Because I said, look, Shelley's talking to those two guys from the area. They go, yeah. I think Rachel said, does she know him? I go, she doesn't even know that that's who she's talking to. And
oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was kind of fun.
But it probably wouldn't have made a difference anyway.
No, you would have chatted him up anyway.
Yep.
But that is a true story.
Oh, that's funny. All right. High energy dog. What would that be like? We don't know. So Jeff has a high energy dog. And
we have a high energy dog.
Yeah. Gave the dog some CBD.
CBD.
Sometimes it's mixed with THC.
Oh.
The dog's just hanging over the side of the couch. Oh, I might have to get some. I need to sleep.
Let me tell you.
Oh, you can see my knee. Oh, you can.
Oh, there was a few feet jokes, by the way.
Damn it. Hi, Winston. Eric?
Eric.
Eric?
It's just clever spelling of Eric.
It is clever. I like that. Shelley Showtime showed up. Yep. I take a pain pill and it's a little bit better. Why should we ignore posts?
Why should we ignore what posts?
Ignore my posts. Why?
He's had quite a few lame ones, actually. There was some stuff going on in the post chat that I had no idea what.
Oh gosh! Now both knees. Oh, that's just. Oh no, at least my calves are still muscular. Can you zoom in? That way.
Sure.
Scare people. There we go. Whew. Oh. All right.
There
we go.
I'm actually going to use a green marker rather than a colored pencil on this one.
Why?
Because I have it.
Well, that's just not a very.
And his tunic is green, so why not use it? Because it's practically out of ink, and I don't know if I have any refills. Maybe that's a good reason why I shouldn't be using it.
Living on the edge,
a lot of green in here.
Living on the edge. Will anybody do anything fun for Father's Day? Ours is kind of lame, but.
Well, I showed him the gift that you got me for the kids that I paid for.
Oh, would you?
I told you.
I'm gonna get my checkbook right now. I forgot.
I did really appreciate it though, because that's like
now you've ruined it.
No, it's the ultimate.
No, I don't want to hear it now.
I never said I didn't like it. I just making fun of you for making me pay for it is all.
Well, I'm gonna make you pay for something else too now. For days and days.
Gonna be paying forever.
We'll just say bling a bling.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I thought we'd solved that problem in the last live
No,
stream.
you just created it again. Okay, so why is that lighter in the middle?
What?
The green.
Why is it gray like that?
It's the feed. It's because your camera shows the green, but when it shows gray there, but it's
wow.
Yeah.
This is a green marker, ladies and gentlemen. Just give it a highlight to kind of round it out a little bit.
Okay, I'm sure somebody had that, you guys were thinking that, right?
They were thinking, why is that green gray?
Is he going to color that in? That really bothers me.
Just doing something, you know, kind of a little stylized.
I see.
Trying to be artistic.
Nice. Made my dad grilled bratwurst. Sauerkraut. Dad would like that.
I had sauerkraut on my sandwich.
There you
So
go.
Reuben. The ultimate sandwich.
Yeah, it looks like a warm gray to us. It's gotta be YouTube. Because the camera.
Yeah, the camera feed we're seeing on
green.
my that's interesting. Why would that be such a screw up for them though? I don't understand it. But no, that's not true because watch what happens when I do this. Go to camera and mic.
Camera and mic.
Now go to log tech to that arrow. Okay, go up to the FaceTime.
I see what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like scooting off so you can't see her. Okay, now click that X in the box. Oh, I can't lift my arm that high.
So
right there.
Bossy.
Okay, now look at that.
Huh.
And that's still YouTube. It's the camera, but what is it with the camera? I don't understand. From getting from there to there, there's a problem.
No.
Okay, you can switch.
From the computer. Oh.
So you go down to cam mic button there.
Oh my gosh. I was just going to say you do it. And then I realized my hand.
Yeah, the mouse is all the way over there. I'm not going to do it. That's a little bit greener. Look, now it got green. What the heck is going on?
Okay, the camera shows it green, but the input to the computer is not. I think I got some problem solving to do.
There's nothing we can do to adjust on those controls that they've given us to control the camera. It doesn't make any difference.
Lighting?
Yeah, but again, I have basically the same lighting, and I just showed it on the other camera, and it looked better.
Turn that one off, maybe.
Oh, I did turn that off. Why is that back on? Okay. I don't know. If we turn that off.
We turn all the lights off.
Then it'll be black. It just got darker. It didn't really change. It's cooler in here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand the answer to this.
What's going on here? Crazy aliens. Okay. Oh, aliens are making it. Yes. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm not at my bestest. I did finally finish my lunch for dinner, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
So you
we'll see.
Lunch and dinner combo. The late lunch, early dinner that we had. That my mom paid for out of kindness of her heart.
That the camera uses to render the image to the screen.
Might be a difference between.
So this thing is it a crappy cable? Is it a crappy?
It could be a crappy cable, could it?
Well, I don't know. I'm just
spitballing.
Yeah, that is really gray.
It's greener now than it was, though.
But yeah,
I'm running out of ink.
Oh no!
I'm so close to being done that I'm running out of ink.
Equals MC squared.
What does that have to do with green?
I think it's he's being smart.
Oh. So close. Did you let the dog out while you were downstairs by any chance?
I didn't go downstairs, so that would be no.
Well, he just laid down out there, so he's good. He's like,
he says it's hot in here.
Hot in here.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'll have to order that air conditioner.
It seems inevitable at this point, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you think of this?
What?
Going like full days, Erin Con, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just going like 8 hours a day.
Wow. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, Jeff, the greens show up on the desktop. Okay, hold on. I'll screenshot it, see if we can show it. Keyboard. Okay, hold the thing up in the middle.
Hold the
The
thing up in
drawing,
the middle.
so I can take a screenshot of what the camera shows us. Okay. Now,
Click on that so it opens it up as an open file.
open, open, open.
Okay, now you go to share.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm telling you, go to share.
Share.
Okay, so click on it. It says stuff.
Mm.
Okay, wait a minute, that's not right. No, you're okay. Share. There we go. What?
What? There you go.
There it goes.
What?
No, wait a minute, go. No.
I'm just moving this. Listen to us try to, the idiot Loprestes try to
Go
figure this
stop
out.
screen. Okay, try it again now. Share.
Oh, because you had something else on there? No. Yeah,
What
share
is going
screen.
on? Oh, there it is. That's supposed to come up. Just put share screen,
Okay.
then window,
Ooh, bubba.
and click on
That.
no. That one.
This.
Yep.
Gosh, I'm blind. All right.
Okay, yeah, so that's what it looks like on our camera. But that's actually the live feed. So that's what it looks like on the camera.
Oh.
That's what we're getting on our screen. And what you see over in the corner here, oops, well, in the corner, in the small screen, that's what you guys are seeing. Okay, so now you can just go
Interesting.
here. And,
Well, at least now they can see the color.
yeah. So that's
So
really
I
what it
don't
looks
need
like.
that. And then we can just go to that.
No, go to there.
Remove.
There you go.
And then that's what you guys see.
Yeah.
Yep. Goes to the gym. Oh, somebody went to the gym. I have guilt. Comes back. Aaron Dunn sketched Victor Von Doom. Yes, he did. Went to the gym. That's impressive.
It's impressive I've been on that long that you could go to the gym and come back and I'm still on.
Well, we have big plans happening before the end of the year. So.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yes.
I think that we need to get our fat butts to the gym.
Yep.
I think all that work we used to put in, and then we got old.
Well, but you know, it's that work we put in when we were younger for so many years that allows us probably to go to the gym and catch up really quickly.
Okay, so I'm going to mess with the white balance.
I don't think it's going to make any difference.
Well, I'm just going to try because somebody.
I've tried that before, but go ahead.
Okay, Eric said that might be a good idea. So I'm going to go off auto. Okay, that's worse. That's really bad. And that's horrible. That's a. Okay, go back to auto. Okay, what about color intensity? Let's just crank that sucker up. Oh my gosh, look at the picture though. That's like.
This is almost right. It's still not though.
No, but look at.
I know.
That's like, really green.
Yep.
But it does make that worse. So maybe that. I'm just gonna mess with stuff.
If you guys,
hopefully it doesn't blind you guys.
If you're tripping out at home, it's not drug related. It's simply.
Well, it might be for the dog. But. Huh. Brightness. Oh, no, I'm having a stroke. That's worse. I think you should call them. Maybe we can get them live on AaronCon.
Can we please explain to my audience how come my color drawings look black and white?
Winston's good question.
Yeah.
Put
it up.
Oh, you're so bossy. I was just gonna do it. Will Sharpie inks fade over time?
Not anymore. They used to turn purple and get fade, but supposedly they fixed the Sharpies so that they don't fade. But I can't verify that. I only know that's what they told me because I do not use Sharpies for sketching anymore. And I know somebody that I did like some stuff for in the 90s, like just, quick sketches. I just talked to him on Instagram recently. He's going, yeah, and he showed me the thing. It's like faded and all this kind of stuff. And I said, oh, I feel terrible. And he said, well, I paid $20 for it or something.
Oh. Also, have you done watercolors lately? No.
Define lately.
The last 2 years.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I did that painting for the Emerald City Con, the last Emerald City Con. Maybe that was 2 years ago, though.
I don't know.
With that girl on the rocks and the troll coming around the mountainside looking for her. That was.
What are you using now? Instead of Sharpies?
Microns and Le Pen. These are archival ink pens, so they're not supposed to fade or, change color, provided they're not lying to us and they actually are archival. That's what I'm using for inking. The coloring, such as it is, such as you can see, are Copic markers, which are also supposed to be archival. But there are people that swear that we shouldn't be using them because they will fade. But I have Copic marker drawings that are 25 years old and look exactly the same as they did when I made them. So now, if you leave anything out exposed to light, either artificial or sunlight, over a great period of time, you probably might well get some, especially from sunlight, you're going to get fading. So don't do that.
Is there glass that
yes,
you can put over?
There is UV glass. If you're going to hang it's expensive, more expensive, I should say. I don't know if it's like outrageously expensive, but it's more expensive than regular glass that you put in a frame. So if you're going to get like commissions from people and it's marker and you want to hang them up on your wall, if you can afford to, get the UV glass to put over it, because that will help protect it as well.
Just so much knowledge here, folks.
But I have yet to see anybody that has used these markers have fading problems or anybody complain about fading problems. So
were you at Emerald City the last time Stan Lee was there?
Probably, because I was at.
You go to almost all of them.
Yeah, I missed one Emerald City because it was Easter weekend, and that was many years ago. Many years
Which is
ago.
way more than just many.
That's right. Many. So yes, I've been there the last probably 10 years or more.
Had an aneurysm from the camera shifts. Oh, nobody had a seizure either.
Yeah, I know.
Hope you're okay. Oh.
So I'm using kind of a rough holding line here, obviously.
So Leg Kick says it might have met you then.
It's very possible. I've been in the same spot for many years.
Many years.
Up against the wall in Artist. When they switched it from down on the regular floor to Artist Alley upstairs, I've been in this. Well, the very first year I was there, that's when I had the kidney stones. And that was like when you walked in the front, I was right there. And then I've been over on that, as you're entering, over on the right-hand wall with Randy Emberlin, Terry Dodson, and this other guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
This other guy.
Who I know, and now I'm embarrassed because I can't remember his name.
Well, you are old.
Well, I haven't talked to him like in years, so it's kind of. Did I?
Yeah, that's all right. What else?
Oops. Sorry.
There you go.
But yeah, I know I have a hard time remembering. You know, I meet fans multiple times at shows and still have a hard time remembering them because you meet so many people.
Yeah. What do you think about that? You put it up here.
I guess I would say that's probably true. I don't have an issue with that.
You do that after pencils,
Yes.
right?
Yep, I do. I do spray my pencils with that stuff. I have not sprayed the marker with it yet because it's kind of messy and it stinks to high heaven. You have to do it out in the garage and blah, blah, blah. So, but that's not a bad idea. So there you go. Lewis Bright Raven, you have my support.
There you go.
I just want to beef
Great
up this whole
tips.
one. That's what we're here for.
All right. So what do you guys think about the 8 hours a day? I'm not sure that that's a lot for you, Aaron.
Well, what I was thinking is like making like little cards would go up on the screen that said 5 minutes, I'll be back, or back in 15 minutes, or back in 20 minutes, and have breaks so everybody can go away, then come back. Because I'm going to have to take Samantha to work in there someplace. So then I can like take, okay, we're going offline for 30 minutes, and I'll be back. But rather than start it up, just
let it go.
Let it go so people can come in, you know. That type of thing.
This is,
that means I'd have to have enough drawings to keep me busy the whole time. But
it'll be back to the old days where I used to feed you as you were drawing.
That's right.
So it says you need to get into a Fragget competition. I've done this in 1 hour. Amazing for how quick.
I'm going to go on his Fragget June show, but I want to wait till after next weekend because I've got some stuff I'm going to be premiering, sort of, and some information that I'm going to be dropping.
You have a lot
at the con, so I don't want to, I don't want to scoop myself by doing it someplace else.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love getting bonus Lopresti. Wait, so what is bonus Lopresti?
What does that mean exactly?
Is it me? Or
could be you.
Longer hours of Aaron. Or, but yeah, you could break the streams up though for YouTube replays. Yeah, you don't want to do an 8 hour.
That's a good idea. Well, okay, so I do a couple hours. Say I do a sketch, and then I say, okay, we're taking a 30-minute break. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Join me if you dare, and then just keep doing it like that throughout the day. That's a good idea. I like it. Yeah, because you're right. An 8 hour stream is like, holy Moses.
Nice job, Hypertater.
And for that, you win absolutely
nothing.
Excellent. Thank you.
Get the timing down. Yep. Jeff.
Uh-oh. What? I'd almost need a slap-o-meter to keep a running tally. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
We just have a thing going.
Well, actually, Jeff hasn't got, I don't know, maybe just once. Hyper Potato has got smacked about 10 times this live feed.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Love it.
All right. So
Dan missed a chance to do Fragget Juneteenth. Bonus Lopresti, longer streams.
Okay.
Oh, preferably with Shelly Showtime. That's so sweet. I'm sure I'll have some.
She'll make her appearance, I'm sure, but she's not going to. If she won't go to a real show, she's not going to sit here in this hot room for.
I win nothing in the same stream. I set a record for slaps. Happy Father's Day to me. Although we do have some stuff in the works that you can win stuff. So.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm all over it.
No. I'm going to need help. I need help to get organized.
Know.
See, now that you're done teaching her, and put you to work. Since our daughter will not.
There is another one. Oh, yeah. Got to stand up and walk around for your health, Aaron.
Yeah, work off all those calories from the
Well,
snacks I've been eating.
Plus, you don't want, I mean, you're not going to sit so long you'll get a blood clot, but still. Very nice black and white sketch. I like your use of grays.
It's quite wonderful.
Make sure all the markers are filled. Good one.
Hey, where's my Presto? Oh, it's over there in the tray. Would you be so kind, my dear?
Oh,
a
no,
little-
it's in the drawer.
Oh. Okay, so we're getting close to, see, that kind of looks green now. We're getting sort of close to completion.
Well, yeah, I think this week, get y'all organized.
I got a lot of stuff to get done this week before
Yep.
I'm going to actually make a schedule. Ooh.
Oh, watch out. I'm going to make a list. Get the AC unit ordered.
Hopefully it'll get here.
And then, yeah. I think it'd be a good idea to have a schedule of what you plan on doing.
Oh, I will. That's the whole thing. I want to schedule the whole show because if
Yeah.
I have guests, I have to schedule time slots that they're actually going to be there. And yeah, so I got a lot of stuff.
So
to
we'll
track
post
down.
the schedule on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll have to post it everywhere. Facebook,
Okay,
Twitter.
so like each day, kind of.
Well, once I get it figured out, I'll just.
Okay. You guys are on fire. You
What?
can't be that hot. You're wearing jeans over his fur. It's manscaping later. But what? Oh, he's reaching. Give me the mouse. I feel some slaps coming on. Oh my
Yep, he's been getting a
gosh.
lot of those.
Too funny. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay, I guess we're
All
caught
right.
up. We're caught up.
Nice.
You may have the mouse back.
Trifecta. Have you seen John?
So we what?
John come
Smith?
on today?
No.
Yeah. It's probably working.
No.
Oh, it's Father's Day though, too.
Yeah. No, David Williams. He has like 20 kids, so I'm sure he's.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Well, there's still Christmas. Yeah.
I did do a Christmas con last year. It was festive. I had lights and everything.
Yeah. A Manscaped 2.0 razor. That's what you needed for Father's Day.
What? Where's that?
Uh-oh. He's reaching. He's reaching. Oh, man. Oh. Ooh, a double. Oh, that's so funny.
Okay. A little bit behind in my
That is so funny.
revenge, but
I like that. That's a good job.
with this?
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Not
you.
bad for
For a
a
live stream.
marker, grayscale marker. Right. Oh, Jeffrey. Oh my gosh. Oh, killing me. Oh. Oh. No, how many kids does David have,
I think
really?
he has 5.
Uh,
I mean, that might as well be 20, really.
so many slaps.
Once you get like more kids than there are of you, When you're outnumbered, does it really matter?
Once you're outnumbered. Yep.
All right. You know what I want to do? I want to put.
What do you want to do?
Will you zoom out just a little bit for me?
Okay.
So you can see your legs in the background.
How about that?
It's good. Just want to put a few pieces of rubble that
Rubble?
he's kicking up as he's running. Kind of.
5 is basically 20 to us millennials.
That's-
Well, man, yeah, no way. Can you still see out of that eye? I don't understand. That's so funny. You guys are so random.
Well, there's a lot of humor and a lot of attempted humor in this.
Attempted. So were you born a werewolf, or were you bitten, or were you? How does that work? Oh, give me the mouse. He says. He didn't even say anything. He just did the fingers, like gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, from the slap. Yeah, we've been blinded. Blinded by. Uh-oh. That was a lot of them. You do it now.
All right, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh my gosh. They slap. Oh, the stew just slapped so much their cheeks had calluses.
That's
You guys are gonna have virtual
but
ones.
that's I believe it.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Y'all secretly moonlight as stand-up comedians. Good to have dreams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't quit your day job, right? Is that the?
Good job on the rubble, Barney. Oh my gosh. I'm spent. That's all I got.
All right. And then, you know what? That's all I got. So that actually looks kind of greenish now. It's improved a little bit. So when we zoom in and let's see if it gets grayer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's
okay.
right there.
Zoom in. Zoom in.
Does it get grayer when we zoom in? Not really. Okay.
Who else is that just shows the crotch of their drawings?
That's Mike Miller.
Okay, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. Does it look any different? I don't think it looks different. Oh, I guess I should sign this.
Perhaps.
This, of course, is for sale, but if you want to wait, it'll be, if it's still available, it'll be there for Aaron Kahn, along with many other pieces. We plan on doing a ton this week. So you just never know.
In between going to the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you have the okay for your shoulder.
That's right, I can. All right, folks.
All right, there you go.
This has been another fabulous, almost 3-hour epic. And it just, doesn't it just fly by? I mean, it's like we've only spent a few minutes together. It's just so much fun. But there you have it.
So we'll post the Aaron Kahn schedule on Facebook and Instagram and whatever. And beginning of that day, maybe an overall one, and then that day.
Yeah.
So that you guys can schedule whatever you want to see.
That's right.
Maybe get some friends, guests, people who really don't want to, but we'll guilt them into.
We'll do everything we can.
Yeah.
To get a few guest appearances, and I'll give. That's the thing. If I offer guest appearances and I say you can come whenever you want, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let me know when it's convenient for you, and we'll schedule it.
They'll say I'm busy.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
Get it.
We'll see.
Okay. We'll see.
Who our real friends are.
I actually know no one's good. David Williams will be here. I know that. That's about it. Hey.
Oh, that's funny. Hope you guys recover from your virtual bruises and.
Yeah, you guys got to know by now that I'm completely innocent in this. You bring it on yourself. So don't blame me if you get your butt kicked around a little bit when you come on my live feeds. because I do not tolerate sass. So
Oh, Lord.
I have to tolerate it from my wife and my daughter and my mother. So I'm not going to
That's
tolerate
true.
it from you guys.
Yeah, but you earn it too.
That's true.
So there you
But I'm
have
still
it.
not going to tolerate it, whether I've earned it or
You
not.
should invite Nick Miller and Brian. All right.
Why would I invite Mike Miller? I'm always on his show.
I don't know. We'll work on it. Oh, leg kick. Very nice.
All right, guys.
All
Again, thank you. Appreciate it. Shelly waves goodbye from off camera.
Way off.
And we'll see you guys next week. Keep your eyes open for announcements and stuff concerning Aaron Con coming up in a week. Less than a week, actually. Starts Friday. So
Coolio.
look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Thanks again.
Bye.